We have had the Scoozy for over 4 months, which means that we are definitely due the 3-month review. So, overall, at the top of the show, has the Scoozy lived up to expectations? Yes, yes, definitely yes. Has it been problem-free? Negotiated. Squeaks back. Charming. Well, let's be honest. There have been a few issues, but most of them are minor. For example, there's a slightly binding brake which makes a really loud squeaking noise, and there is an engineer on his way out to fix it. It has been fixed before, so they're aware of the problem. And the beauty of getting this on mobility is that it is a lease scheme, so that all the repairs, the maintenance, the insurance, it all comes as part of Motability. The downside to Motability is that I'm really attached to this thing even after 3 months, and I know that after the 3rd year it has to go and I'll have to think about something else. But if I'm honest, I'd probably go for another one of these, unless something amazing comes up in the meantime. Have I attempted to reach the limits of its off-road ability? Let the regenerative braking do its thing. They said it's an off-road one that can go anywhere.
You'll find out.
Yeah, send a search party. I used to come down here as a kid. This is the first time I've tried for ages.
Well, hopefully it won't be too bad.
No, this is supposed to be an off-roady one, so we'll see.
Good luck.
I'm going to try coming back up as well, see if it'll manage it. Now the problem with the regenerative braking is that it slams the anchors on, and on a rough surface like this it just skids. But that's okay. We can handle it. Can't we, Scoozy? Let's try and avoid that big step. There. Let's go round it if we can. Because it definitely won't like that. Yeah, we made it down. Danger. Oh! Didn't expect that. You enter this land at your own risk. Ooh. Okay. So this is not a place we're meant to go. Well, I'm not trying to go down your way. And down at the bottom there is the River Dibbing. But anyway. Private property, no entry. Ooh. Well, I'm not trying to enter their private property. I'm trying to get down here. Yeah. See, that might be a little bit too sketchy. So let's reverse. And see if we can make it back up. And if we can, we'll call that a result for the Scoozy. Let's not try and do a wheelie. That's interesting. So I'm going to have to give it some. Nearly made it. Whew. Let's go up a gear. Made it. Remember my tips on camper driving? Slow down. And don't destabilise. There you go. Look for the flattest route. Oh, this is fun. The Dibbingsdale Valley. Ooh. Now, this is going to be interesting. I'll go that way and try to avoid tipping over. Oh! Nearly lost my shoe. Hold on. Ugh. Got it back. Yes. Bit of camber. Yes, I've tried. Yes. But if I'm honest, the ability of the Scoozy is beyond anything most people are going to need without going for something extremely specialised like the Exo Quad that we featured in a previous video. And that is a fantastic piece of kit. But the thing with the Scoozy is there are certain limits. For example, if you're going up a very steep slope, obviously there's only so steep you can go before gravity, all the weight's at the back. So gravity will sort of flip you back eventually. But that's going up a very, I went up something akin to this and it just about made it. So we're not talking about something most people will face. The other issue is that with the soft springs that give it a fantastic ride, by the way, when you're on a camber, it leans that little bit more, and that can be a bit disconcerting and feel like it wants to throw you out. But again, I'd be happier to have it like this because that suspension is so good. It makes it so comfortable, along with this seat. Honestly, it's more comfortable than most cars, and I'm a car journalist and I've driven a lot of cars. Is the claimed 30-mile range realistic? Yes. I'd have to say, from my experience and the distances that I've gone, which hasn't been 30 miles, but by calculating from what's left, it's actually possibly capable of a little bit more. I will investigate further, and that will be in future videos. But yes, it really can keep going that far. Obviously, this is summer, perfect conditions. And I am optimizing the battery in that I'm not letting it go beyond 80% before I'm not recharging it too often. I'm waiting until it goes down to about 20%, then recharging it, so that the battery, so it's the 80-20, sort of keeping it between the 80% and 20% region most of the time is what I'm doing with this. So it should ensure that the battery lasts. Is it value for money? Well, at about 7,500, by the time all the payments through 3 years of Motability are added up, it's quite an expensive piece of kit, and that puts a lot of people off. And I don't blame them. It is really expensive. But for me, for what I do, and you've seen what I do, this is the perfect scooter. So in that respect, it really is value for money. But I can understand why some people might see this as a very expensive option And there are some fantastic scooters out there. I would say shop around, find what's right for you. But what I also love about this, apart from the ability, is that it doesn't scream mobility scooter. It looks like a fun device. And we do get a lot of compliments from people when we're out on it. So I have to say, it really is a fantastic piece of kit. And I don't think that should put you off. But visually, I think it works. And as a tool for what it's meant to do, it's fantastic. These large wheels really make a difference to the ride height and the comfort. So yes, I think it's a fantastic piece of kit. Very expensive, but very worth it for me. Would I recommend the service of Eden Mobility? Yes. I haven't really had any problems. If I've called for an engineer, they've come out. The scooter was delivered in perfectly good order. It's worked. The only issues have been issues that I've mentioned, like flat tires, which happens to anything, and the squeak, which they are fixing. So I can't really complain about the service whatsoever. There are other mobility suppliers, and this is not to say that Eden is better than others. I don't know because I've only dealt with Eden, but there are, no reasons that I can think of not to go to them if you're considering it from my experience. What would I change? Well, there's a few things I'd change. I've mentioned the throttle, and this is something that most scooters, I'm told, are like, that you press the throttle and there's a delay before it goes, which can be scary when you're crossing a big road. The other thing is the horn, and this is the horn. That is pathetic. It's loud enough, but it doesn't sound like a horn, so people ignore it. Now this I bought for $3.99 off eBay, and that gets people's attention. No louder, and it just makes it also brings a smile to their faces. So I'd invest in that. It's £4 well spent, in my opinion, and if it makes someone smile, then that's a bonus, isn't it? So to sum up, 3 months, well, 3 months plus one with the Scoozy. I have to say, I am pleasantly surprised that there's not been more things that I didn't like, because it's my first scooter, and you never know what you're going to face until you've tried it. I do love the design, and I love the freedom and the fun. Nobody tells you these things are fun. My God, it's fun. And that's a message I think I'm going to put across a lot more. If you're considering a scooter, don't be put off. Forget the stigma. Ignore what other people say. It's a fantastic thing. It's a great deal of fun. And the freedom it gives you, honestly, I still sometimes get close to tears when I go on a path that I haven't been on for years in this. There are downsides. I can't get it into the car, so I'd either have to get a car that would fit it, or I'd have to get a separate device that I can use in a car. That's something to consider, but overall, would I sacrifice the size, the comfort, and the ability in order to have a compromise thing that would fit in the car and be a jack of all trades? No, I think I would definitely have gone with this. I made the right decision for once, but I definitely need something that will fold up and go in a car and be usable when I go somewhere in the car. But for general day to day, I don't go out in the car very much, and I make sure that I go out at least once a week in this to the footpaths and trails that I used to walk because that is the freedom that was taken away, and this has given it back. And that for me is the whole point. Plus, doing it with a smile on your face, because let's face it, that's good for everybody.